was thinking. Well, that's the way they. Okay, I need to sign that. That's the way we did it last time.
Notarize your signature date is 7, right?
All right. Call this meeting to order. And Mr. Randolph, would you like to say the opening prayer?
Glad to. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for the blessings you've given us. We thank you for your watch, care, and guidance over us. Father, we ask that you would continue to lead, guide, and direct in each and everything that we do. Be with us this morning as we conduct the business of the county. May your guidance be with us and your hand direct us in each and everything we do. Father, be with this community, this state, and this country. We ask that we could still remember, and our leaders would still remember, that under God we were created, under God we need to remain. Father, we ask it as we go through that you would protect our officers, our fire department, all the ones that work every day to protect us. Guide us and direct us. Be with us this morning. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comments? If not, we'll get on with the regular business. Need to review and approve the minutes from the July 17th regular fiscal court meeting.
So
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Chandler, second by Mr. Randolph.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Yes. Next, we need to review and approve the Fair Board appropriations request. This is for some funding. I guess we used to give some money for the county fair. Since we don't have that anymore, they started this Boo Fest, which has grown. It's money that we already have budgeted that we do every year. So.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Tarpley.
I got it. It says they're asking for additional funding. That $5,000 for we get every year.
Yeah, it's not.
I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing something.
No, it's the same.
Okay.
Isn't that what they said a while ago?
Huh?
Isn't that what y'all just said a while ago?
Yeah, it's the same.
I move we approve the 5,000.
Yeah, that's fine. I just thought I maybe.
Yeah, I saw that wording in there, but it's not additional, but it's funding, the same funding that we've done in the past.
Okay.
Motion by Mr. Tarpley and a second by Mr. Bush.
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
James Spears.
Yes. Next, we need to review and approve the first reading of ordinance number 110.7. This is XYZ CBD Processing LLC's KBI resolution, which waives their occupational tax for 10 years.
It says this is on Steel Road. Where is it?
The property, it's just past, was it Steegers? On the left. It's had a for sale sign out there, but they've got it under contract. It's 130 acres. And they're going to start with a 50,000 square foot processing facility. It's going to employ about 60 people, $20 million investment. And they're going to, the first 2 years, they're going to raise the rest of the farms either gonna be in greenhouses or cultivating the hemp. And then they plan, when they get to full production, have as many as 500 acres outsourced to local farmers.
Larry, it's that farm moving around all the place.
Yeah, joins tobacco,
Part of Hayes Roll right now.
yes,
Yes. Yeah.
And what kind of processing plant?
hemp.
Hemp.
Gonna make that CBD oil, or, I mean, actually, they take it farther than the oil. They're taking it down to what they call the isolate form. It's a powder that they can sell to pharmaceuticals or sell to a dog food company, or you can add it to vitamin water or whatever you want to.
Okay, I hadn't heard of peat, but I was curious. Okay. Nothing to know.
And it's not medical marijuana, it's actually hemp. It has none of the THC. Well, it's got to have less than, I think they said 3,000 parts per million.
Yeah, it's low, very low.
Yeah.
You couldn't smoke enough of it to get
Right.
high.
So they've already got state approval.
Well, I'll tell you what's
Well, I mean,
going on.
that's what everybody's talking about.
Well, I mean, what my thoughts are, what's going on this is that it's, the hemp is going to be in the new farm bill that they're going to vote on in September, and whether to legalize the full production of hemp. And if it ends up in this farm bill, they want to be ready to break ground in October. I mean, they're trying to get all their ducks in a row. So
Just out of curiosity, should we wait and see how that bill turns out before we vote on this?
I don't think it matters. I mean, if they shut down, if they decide not to do it, then this ordinance means nothing anyway.
This is the same we do for
Every other.
any industry that invests that much money. They have to invest a certain amount of money, plus provide a certain amount of jobs.
Yeah.
So it would be the same as we do for any industry.
Will they have a byproduct that can be used for fiber?
No, this is a different one. Yeah, that's a different
Different type of hemp?
type of hemp. That's more of a tall. These are the pictures that I've seen is like a Christmas tree, and they plant them on 5-foot centers. Got to be 5 feet apart. So it's going to take a pretty good chunk to grow very much of it. So.
Bobby, it'd be a road we've got problems with now, just getting that much bigger, won't it?
That road's too wide, and I don't think it's 18-foot road.
We got a lot of traffic problems on that road right now with tractor trucks coming through there and everything else. And then they turn down there on Lake Spring Road, getting a lot of complaints.
When that new interchange gets put in down there that Larry Collins is doing or whoever's doing down there in Tennessee, that should help the traffic through there, should it not?
Make it worse than like.
Or make it worse?
Well, it should alleviate what we're getting now, traffic coming out of Tennessee. Random traffic, which that's something that's in there.
If this proceeds further, I was gonna, there's a build grant, BUILD, it replaced the old Doc Tiger grant, but it's, and Mitch McConnell, he's a big proponent of the hemp, and his wife is over all those grants, so I think I was gonna apply for a grant to help widen Steel Road. And probably have to put a big turn lane in, kind of like they did.
I would imagine they'll probably come through Lake Spring Road too, Bobby, it'd be a problem. Okay.
A motion and a second.
I need a motion and a second on the ordinance for the KBI.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Chandler and Mr. Tarpley.
Marty Chandler,
Yes.
Mike Tarpley,
Yes.
Larry Randolph,
Yes.
Bobby Bush,
Yes.
Travis Spears,
Yes. Next, you need to review surplus equipment for public works. How'd we miss this one?
Well, this has nothing to do with resale.
Okay.
I'm just trying to clean the books up a little bit, because Pam's still carrying an old roller, asphalt roller on our inventory, and it's sitting behind the salt bin right now, it's been junked. You know, a couple of years ago, we bought a new roller. I'm just wanting to get this off our inventory, so I can use it for parts and scrap, and might scrap some of it out. It's got a lot of heavy metal on it, so I'm just wanting to get it out of the books, so we can kind of use parts or dispose of them when need to.
All right.
Then they can replace, it's already replaced, so.
Okay. Need a motion and a second.
How do we do that, Sam, if he's wanting to sell it for scrap from artists? Because we have to sell it at auction or give it to another governmental entity or take bids on it? I thought there were only 3 ways to.
Yeah, I think you take bids on it and see what you get.
Well, I'm not wanting to sell it, I want to use it.
So that's what do we just need to declare it as salvage instead of surplus?
You like the sheriff in his car down there, buddy.
Right. I'm just wanting to make sure we do it the right way. I mean, if we surplus it, then we have to get rid of it. But if you want to keep it, then I don't know. Do we just keep it do we just declare it salvage or?
It's, right now, it's the county's equipment to do with as you see fit. If that means, if that means you use it, to do the work, or if you use it as a means to, harvest parts off of it or pieces off of it.
We don't need to keep up insurance and all that.
I mean, if you want to declare it, if you want to,
Okay.
if you want to declare it for salvage, I guess, but I mean, if you're not looking to get rid of it, then maybe surplus, Marty may be right, surplus may not be the exact term of art you're looking for.
Well, we need to make a motion to declare it salvage.
I think that's just probably the cleanest way to do it.
So moved.
Second. Mr. Tarpley and Mr. Bush will declare the old asphalt roller as salvage to be used for parts and scrap.
Ever how he sees fit.
Yeah.
Blake Hartley.
Yes.
Tommy Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
James Spears.
Yes. And I guess while we're on the surplus topic, it's not on your agenda, but we can talk, Eric brought his surplus list yesterday. It's on the portal, but it wasn't on the agenda. And these are the items that you want to auction.
Yes, everything in the yellow, is commissary, everything in the white is a general.
You have an extra copy of the.
I can get one.
Or I just.
Yeah, you can make one. Question, we discussed the last meeting to Eric surplusing 3 or 4 vehicles to purchase one. 2 of these are the Crown Vics, the 2011, 2008 Crown Vics that he has. They're not highlighted, they're marked as general. If that money comes out of the general and goes into a commissary vehicle, how does that work?
Can I address what he's
I
talking
don't
about?
say you deal more with commissary than I do. That's a good question.
Well, Jamie and I talked about this yesterday. What he's referring to is the 2 F-250s, the 2010 F-250s. We're going to keep one. We decided we're going to hold on to one until the other vehicle gets here because the pickup crew can't stop. So we're going to keep that. The one that's got 170-ish, somewhere around there, somewhere around 170,000, we're going to surplus it. The question that I guess we both have is, those are the trucks, Marty, that came from Bobby to us. We've used them as commissary trucks, and we maintain them out of the commissary. So do those vehicles go, or does that vehicle, when we sell it, does it go back into the commissary, or does it go into the general fund? That's the question we've got.
Just a second, thinking, I would think it would go back in general because you didn't pay for it out of the commissary.
Well, I don't disagree with you.
I think that's my take on it. I mean, I understand you're paying for maintenance and stuff out of it, but I think Marty's right. I think if you paid for it out of the general.
But what if it was paid for out of the road?
It was paid for on the road or not?
But it was, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
But the road department gets, I mean, the commissary is completely different. It doesn't come from the county. It comes through the jail, period. Your money, no matter, I mean, it all comes, it may be designated for you, but it comes from the county budget.
It would be the same with the red Chevrolet S10.
Well, see, that vehicle was here before I ever started.
Right, but was it paid for out of commissary?
It was a commissary truck.
Okay.
I understand you get money from the state and maybe even feds, but what I'm getting at is that money generates from the jail itself. You don't generate money. You get money from somebody else.
The biggest question with the commissary is once that vehicle or part of the vehicle is paid for out of commissary, well, I guess my point is if we take 4 vehicles here, the 2010 F-250, the 2 Ground Victorias, and the Chevy S10, and they bring $15,000 or $25,000 or whatever it is, and then Eric takes another $10,000 or $20,000 out of commissary and buys a new truck. The new truck then has money from the general fund and has money from the commissary, both in it.
Hold up. The vehicle that's going to be used for the trash pickup, that's going to be solely purchased out of commissary. That's not going to have any.
I know, but what he's saying is if you take this money that's supposed to go in the general and put it in the commissary, then it changes.
We're not going to do that. You can't do that. You can't take money that comes from the general and put it into the
Well,
commissary.
then I think you just answered your question
Yeah,
about that.
that did answer my question. So we can't take the money from these 3 or 4 vehicles and put it towards that vehicle that you're going to pay for the rest of out of commissary.
What we were asking about on that is for those general fund vehicles to go into a line item, I can transfer some money from the commissary to the court to put into it to pay for the balance.
It'll still be the county's vehicle.
Yes. Yes.
All right. There.
Is that clear as mud?
Yeah,
Okay.
I got it now. I didn't want.
So that 2010 should not be an F-250, should it not be highlighted same?
No, it should not, and probably unless those trucks were paid for out of commissary, they should not be
That's the only
designated.
thing. That's the only thing that we question.
How are you and Mark getting along on auction stuff?
There's your list. He's got the auctioneer ready to go.
That's going to be next, Simpson.
That was the next thing we're going. Well, we haven't set a date. I would like to have it done last week because we got stuff everywhere. Yeah.
I need a motion and a second to approve the jail's surplus list. So moved. Motion by Bobby, second by Mr. Chandler.
The only thing we should note is that highlighted.
I've got them marked on my sheet for
We'll
the
know.
copy that I want to make for
We'll
Pam.
Right.
We're going to separate it.
Ready to vote?
Yes, ma'am.
Bobby Bush?
Yes.
Marty Chandler?
Yes.
Larry Randolph?
Yes.
Blake Conklin?
Yes.
Jamie Spears?
Yes. And
Talk about the auction.
do what?
We'll talk about the auction.
Yeah, we can go ahead and talk about the auctions.
Can we do that in the last week in August? Need a week to advertise, get it in next week's paper?
That's a question for
Last week
Pam.
in August.
Yep, she says we
There
can.
you go, it would be in the dish, the 16th, Thursday, the 16th, 7 days. It has to be.
At least 7 days. It'll be the 20th.
So anytime, say, for the 20th.
Who's your auctioneer? Well, that's going to be my next time. I'm going to check it in and make sure that it's okay. But I have an idea that it will.
I'm just going to tell you that most of the time, they want at least 4 weeks before they,
Would be,
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just
if
saying-
we advertise it next week, the sale will have to be between the 23rd of August and the 6th of September, I believe. Is that right?
Sounds like you might need to talk to your auctioneer to make sure you're on the same page where the scheduling is
Can we go ahead
concerned.
and plan it and then
Yeah.
if it doesn't work out next
Do
time?
we need to
maybe
have a
change it?
motion to give them permission to go ahead and schedule it?
You've already approved it to be sold at auction, correct?
Yes.
And I think once you've given the approval, I don't think you necessarily need to set the date. I
No,
think
you just need to get with the auctioneer and then let Pam know if that window will work.
We've got to select an auctioneer also.
Okay.
And I'd like to go with Jerry Jones at a straight 10% rate. That's what I would like to.
I think at that point, I think you probably do need to do a motion to
If you don't have any objection to Jerry Jones,
approve an auctioneer.
and he had dates on his proposal that he could do it, I believe.
But he's got anywhere from August 11th to September 1st.
Yeah, that would fall in the window then.
Yeah. I'll call him as soon as he gets this coordinated.
I'm just saying, I think whoever the auctioneer is, I think y'all need to approve retaining their services.
I need a motion and a second to approve Jerry Jones as
So moved.
auctioneer on the jail surplus auction. Got a motion by Mr. Bush and a second by Mr. Tarper.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Clay Tarple.
Yes.
Larry Randall.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Jody Spears.
Yes. Bobby, if you'll just let Pam or I one know if one of those dates in there, then we'll get it in the paper next
I'll
week.
let you know
Can-
something today.
Can I ask one question while we're on this topic? Does the court have any opposition to us having the auction over there in the parking lot next to the Napa building? And the reason I'm asking is a lot of the equipment and the vehicles are already there.
In front of the drug court there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's technically the county's, that parking lot's county's property, right? Yeah, I don't have,
Is everybody fine with that?
I think it makes sense.
Okay, thank you.
Might correct, check with the Justice Center about dates, because there are some days when they have jury at that place in court. Is it,
you're gonna do it on Saturday. If you're gonna do it on Saturday, it won't matter.
that'll be fine.
Get a lot of people there.
Do we need a separate motion or include it in one of that, include it in one of these motions to authorize advertising for because there was some stipulation in here about us listing all of that, which that's gonna bulk up the expense of
The last time we did this, we paid advertising. We did the advertisement in the paper to sell it, surplus, plus the list of everything, which is a little bit more cost to us. But we did the same thing last time. And it's in one of the auctioneers that's what he wanted also. That we were to do the advertising, in other words, put it in the paper that's going to be sold.
Do we, I guess listing, that's a pretty good list to put in the newspaper.
Judge, I can actually pay for the advertisement just for that commissary list that's in there. Out of commissary, I mean, I can't list
Right.
the general,
Right.
but I can give everybody a gist just off of.
If you're willing to do that, we'll do that. We'll do the public announcement, and then we'll do an ad from and he'll pay for just the commissary items listed.
Okay, so are we gonna do a motion to authorize advertising or?
Yes. I need a motion and a second to authorize advertising of the jail's commissary surplus.
So move. Second.
Mr. Tarpley and Mr. Bush.
If I understand that bid right, we pay for the advertising.
Just like we did last time, yes.
So with all the material he's got, we probably need to have a pretty wide circulation on newspaper ads, I would think. 'Cause it should draw a pretty good crowd.
It did last time. I mean, this is almost identical to what we did 2 years ago. And the jail and the lawnmowers and everything, they were very, very pleased with the way it came out.
Very pleased.
So are you, Larry, are you asking for,
You think we ought to advertise in other papers other than the local paper? Is that what you're saying?
I think it ought to at least go into Park City, wouldn't you think?
I think that's what happened last time.
Okay.
Very well.
Yeah.
You want to include that in the motion, or you need a separate motion?
if y'all are, we're still on the motion, we haven't done it.
Sounds
That's
good.
okay.
Yeah.
Think we're ready?
Yes.
Clay Hartley.
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
James Spears.
Yes. Next, it's just a review of the 2018 tax rates that DLG has sent us. It kind of lays out the compensating rate and the differences in revenues. We're not going to take any action on this today. It's just, it came in. I think we have 45 days to review and decide on what rate we want to apply. Traditionally, I think we've always just taken the compensating rate. But
And the compensating rate's the same rate as it is now.
yeah, it didn't change.
Not a whole lot of money difference between that and the 4% increase. Only $47,000.
Right. We don't need to take a vote or anything on that today, do we?
No,
Just reviewing it?
just reviewing it, and then you're gonna have to do an ordinance adopting whatever rates you adopt.
Right.
But right now, it's just letting you know it's here.
Yep. All right, next, we need to review and approve the budget transfers.
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
Mr. Randolph and Mr. Bush.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Clay Hartley.
Yes.
James Spears.
Yes. Next, we need to review and approve the bills and claims.
We approve the claims.
Second.
Mr. Tarpley and Mr. Bush.
Ray Tarpley,
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
Jamie Spears.
Yes. Next, we need to review and approve the January 30th, 2018 financial statement amended. Megan might have a hair or two left.
The one that y'all approved, the last time.
Was wrong.
Do what?
I'm just kidding.
When I went to upload it to DLG, the other part of our software, it was off, not the total cash balance, but all that was right. There was a voided check for, I think, $39.63 that on this side wasn't showing up, and on this side was, so we had to do this is just an amendment. There's $39.63 off in the appropriations, and so that's just the difference in it. All the cash totals was the same. But for auditor's purpose, we need the right one for everybody else.
Need a motion to approve the amended financial statement.
Move to approve.
Mr. Bush. Mr. Randolph.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Ray Tarpley.
Yes.
Jamie Spears.
Yes.
Do we need to approve the July financial statement too, Megan?
If you got it
We
on
did.
there too, if you want to approve that one.
Make a
All right,
motion, we approve the July financial statement subject to audit.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Randolph and a second by Mr. Chandler. Well, he
got in there
both of us
first.
did.
So Randolph and Chandler.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Ray Tarpley.
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Jamie Spears.
Yes. Next, we review and approve the treasurer's 17-18 settlement. And notice there's $1,899,956 in the general fund. That was up about $150,000 from the year before, but then when you do the grand total of all funds, it was down a little bit, wasn't it?
And if you notice that, if you look at the June 30th financial versus the treasurer's settlement shows a little more because that's for checks that are voided and return checks. But I have to show that on my treasurer's settlement where it's not on the.
And we have last year's settlement in the office down there if you want to come by and compare them, look at it. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second. Marty was it?
Yes, Marty.
Mr. Chandler and Mr. Tarpley.
Marty Chandler.
Yes.
Ray Tarpley.
Yes.
Larry Randolph.
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Jamie Spears.
Yes. Now, get into the reports. I have a couple of things. Mr. Vaughn brought me the contract with Southern Health Partners, the medical contract for the jail. The annualized fee is going to be $320,566. We budgeted $338,000, so it's about $17,500 less than what we had budgeted. I need a motion and a second to approve the authorization for me and Mr. Vaughn to sign this contract.
So move.
Mr. Mr. Tarpley.
I'll
and
second.
Mr. Bush.
Roy Tarpley,
Yes.
Bobby Bush.
Yes.
Marty Chandler,
Yes.
Larry Randolph,
Yes.
James Peters.
Yes. One other thing that I had was, I appointed Blake Tarpley to the Board for Aging Services at the Brad. I think that's a 2-year term, and
Already got my information.
good deal.
Is
Just wanted
that
to,
because he's old?
Yeah.
he's got experience.
You didn't have to say that.
He's experienced.
Experience is not age.
He's seasoned.
He's aging, that's what it is.
And so, anyway, made that appointment. Just wanted to get that in the minutes that Blake Tarpley will be the county judge's appointee to that board. Next, any other reports from magistrates?
I don't have anything. We will need an executive session.
Yes. Yeah. County attorney, we do have a little something.
Just a reminder, the delinquent property tax sale is a week from today, the 14th, at the clerk's office. If you've got your money, you need to go to the clerk's office. We're kind of to the point now where the county attorney's office is, because we're having to close down things, to give a list of the ones that are not subject to being sold. You're going to contact us directly, but we may have to direct you to the clerk's office. I don't think they're going to take any money after Friday, so you really, it's kind of late now. The clock's about to strike midnight, so if you can scratch your money together by the end of the week, I strongly suggest you do so.
We need to talk about the.
Yeah, we got a couple. I want an executive session on a real estate matter and possibly a litigation matter.
Okay, so, and then any of the constitutional offers that Bill has something for you. You have to come up here, Bill. 2 minutes. Putting on the clock.
I just want to catch a report up on some things. About 3 Sundays ago, that early morning storm, we had a lightning strike, and it did a lot of damage in this building. Contacted TVA through Electric Plant Board. They said we had 6 strikes within a quarter of a mile of this building. We didn't have a direct, but that set up a pretty good dome of electrical through the air and ground. So since then, I haven't got all the estimates in, but we're replacing several things up in the emergency management office. We've got switches, computers, printers, and it hit the fire system again. We've got a circuit back here in this back room it got hit, so we're going to have to pull a new wire from this all the way to the next loop. So we took a pretty good hit. So since then, I've been trying to look at everything, and I have grounded the antennas out on the roof and been working with Mr. Thurman at Thurman Electric, and actually we had the guy from TVA, an engineer, come down, that Chris over at EPB, arranged for us, and the cost and everything. So he came last week, and we did a kind of an overall view. He took him to show him all the electrical panels, and he's writing a report. That report will go to the EPB, and then the EPB will pass it on to us as he kind of said what we need, and he's looked at everything, what we need to do, what we don't need to do, and so forth. In the meantime, I've got about $1,200 worth of equipment ordered for this building to upgrade and update all the computer safety surge protectors, and going to put some ground equipment on the Ethernet system too, because we're having it on low voltage and high voltage side. And then probably our biggest thing that we're going to try to work on is working with Mr. Thurman to get rid of the light arrestor up on the roof, up on the tower. We're probably going to change. We're thinking the most economical way to repair that would be to put a non-conductive pole up there instead of trying to ground that pole and bring it not through the building, but maybe around the building and down with ground rods. And actually just change it over to a non-conductive material. It'll look the same, nobody's gonna know that it's not metal, so we're gonna work on that. Or it'll be a little bit, getting that piece of that replaced, that we'll probably have to have a crane. So, but just to let you know, when I get some figures in on how much damage we had, I'll give the board a report on that.
Thank you.
Anybody else have anything?
I just have a question. Bobby, you said you're gonna start doing some paving pretty soon. You know where you're gonna, you know where, just for information.
roads, flex roads.
The flex roads.
And they're gonna be in the order that they were listed on there.
Well, that road list I gave you is the flex road broken out.
Yeah.
We're gonna do those roads, I think I mentioned last time, mainly because of the,
65, 30.
those will be refunded to us.
Yeah.
That way we get that funding back.
And some of those other roads are gonna be in the spring.
All right. And if that's all, we need to motion to go to adjourn this meeting and go into open executive session.
Sorry.
Motion we adjourn.
No, we don't adjourn. We got a motion.
That's right.
Pursuant to the exceptions to open meetings, discussion of proposed pending litigation, deliberation of future real estate acquisitions, and personnel.
I got a motion. Is there a second?
I'll make a motion.
No, I got a motion. You'll
Mr.
second.
Tarpley,
I'll second.
Mr. Tarpley and Mr. Randolph.
Litigation, real estate, personnel.
Clay Tarpley,
Yes.
Larry Randolph,
Yes.
Hardy Chandler,
Yes.
Tommy Bush,
Yes.
James Spears,
Yes, ma'am.